folks, so today I am taking you on a little tour around my world, and oh, I'm just getting fired at real quick. Let's kill this guy. Where is he? There he is. Hey bro. That took a little bit of work. Anyway, as I was saying, oh, and I got some cool pants to go with my yellow and browns. And I swag. Look at this, everybody. Swag as. Yeah. Styling. Cool. Even got the complete arrow. Mean. Alright, as I said, I am going to take you on a tour around my world. And this is all built in by myself in survival, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I guess we'll start off with my house that I was just at. I have several locations. This is not a new map for me. This map is about a year old. I was thinking of starting Minecraft gaming in a brand new map, but this is this map's been going on for so long. Anyway, so in here I have assortments of minerals. Mostly it's cobblestone and dirt and things like that. I do have a few items that I've collected either from fishing or from other things, mining, etc., or mobs that I've killed. There's a few different things from, I'll need one of those. There's definitely some things from mobs, and some things from fishing. And yeah, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, that is this house. This house is, I don't think I can show you on the map because I don't actually have one on at this point, or in this house anyway. But this is more or less near the center of the map. The center of the map is, I will just go up here and show you that humongous nerd pole right there. So that's the center of the map. That giant nerd pole. There are other nerd poles around here. There's that one down there. And then there's one off in the distance, which is over the stronghold, which I've been working on. If you've seen anything from my, what do you call it? From my Instagram story. Anyway. So this map is made up of, well, it's a natural map, but what I've carved out of it is my own train stations, my own rail stations, which I've then put glass elevators in, and I've put stairwells in, and all manner of other interesting things you can do. It's not moving. I did notice that these things had started to get a bit more sticky of late, but that's okay. So what I've done is I've actually carved out a lot of track space. These tracks go north and south in the center, and then this one that I've just turned the corner onto goes around the perimeter of the map, or around nearer the edge of the map. This will take me all the way to my house. It's got some twists and turns because that's the way I made it. It's got some little dips and some little ups and downs because that's the way I made it. I just decided that this would be probably a more interesting way to have it run rather than straight and boring, etc. There are definitely straight and boring bits, but that's fine. But yeah, so this is just played on the PS3, and it is just, yeah, if you want to join me on my map, my name is 1 millionth Mart. I can sort that out and put that on the screen right now. And yeah, so we'll try and get up this part of the track. It doesn't generally like this part, eh? Oh yeah, there we go. We got it. We got it there. That's good. That's another train station I need to put in. I haven't actually put in a train station there. But well, I did put a little stop, but nothing more really. It's just inside a cave on the side of a hill. That there is coming from the side cross. So I could have probably taken that way, but I didn't. This is another open air train station. This used to get some air. You used to be able to do jumps off that. I'm coming up to my house soon on this one. And this is my stop. Okay, cool. So I'm going to jump out here. At each train station I try and have some food or some carriages. Some carts, mine carts. And the more built up or elaborate ones, I try and have stairs. So the theme for most of the buildings I build are these chiseled stone and these multicolored glass. I started the multicolored glass with this house here, which is the location of my first house. All right. So I've had 5 villages for some time now. I've got 2 out there, I've got 3 out there, and I heard somebody else kind of hurrying about. I'm wondering whether that is down here. Maybe not. Okay, so this is my main house. I've worked on this house and kept things in this house for a long time. In the main area, we've got obviously just used ovens, furnaces, whatever you want to call them. Got my anvil. Got my what do you call it? Brewing stands. I've got my food thingy, and then I've got my potions thingy. Probably the most interesting potion I've got is this bottle of enchanting. I've never actually used it. Been learning a little bit about what I can do and what I can't do with enchanting. And it's all very interesting. I do try and keep these more organized in my own actual house. Yeah. So yeah, there's wood and stuff like that, and then there's other shenanigans. It's good to keep some armor, I think, as well. And yeah, in each house, most of the other houses, I have a clock and a tropical fish. We'll go upstairs before we go outside. So I've got this great big thing. My what do you call it? Enchantment station. And I try and keep one of these 2 as well, just to try and keep in with decorative theme. I do hear could that be coming from? Anyway, so yeah, so that's my multicolored glass house roof. I've also got a farm, as you can see. There's yeah, pigs, and there's actually chickens and those other three over there, but they're not spawned in because you can't actually see them at this point. What am I going to do now? I think I'll just go have a sleep real quick rather than mess about. And all right. Cool. I mean, I've got some baking as well, obviously. You know, you make some pies and you kill some cattle and some pigs, etc., etc., you know. But yeah, this is a pretty interesting roof to have when you're... Hello. Yeah, so something's down there, eh? I think I'll go and have a little bit of an inspection, because it sounds like maybe there's some kind of I might have to find me some arrows. I usually have arrows in there. Do I not have arrows this time? I'll go and try and find some arrows. What do you need for arrows again? I need some feathers. I don't have any feathers. What am I even doing with my life? There's 4 arrows, that'll do. No, let's not put that in there. Do I have feathers in there? I don't have feathers in there. No, I don't have feathers in there. I thought I had lots of stuff. Anyway, we'll put that there. Let's go kill something that we don't know what we're looking for anyway. It sounds like a possible... I don't know. Nothing down there. Could be down here. Well, I can't really find anything, so... Not super keen on really looking too much. Anyway... Oh, well, I don't know. Okay, so yeah, so I've got my villages and all. I've already put up a perimeter fence around my village. I haven't really built a village for the villagers. Anyway, so yeah, I've got, as I said before, pigs and sheep and chickens, or are they ducks? I don't know. And I've got, what do you call them? Bovines, bovinian. I've also got some horses. These horses will not be at the Melbourne Cup. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. I just kind of keep them here. I do ride them from time to time, but I also find them a bit annoying to ride. I've got some armor, etc. I've got a farm, as you can see, for these thingies. I don't really pick them that often anymore. What I do usually do is grow wheat and carrots when I need to in my auto farm. This is a semi-automatic farm. So once things have grown and been planted and grown in there, then you pull the lever, that happens. Then all that rushes down into a hopper and then into a chest. And then you go, yay, there's those things. And that's literally it. This was a nerd pole that I turned into lava because I felt like it. And that's pretty much it so far with my main buildings, I guess you can say. My not so main buildings, I will take by rail. Oh, this is my my villager trap, or zombie villager trap. So how I actually got my villagers was they were spawning as zombie villagers out here, and then I would coax them into here, and then they would go, haha, and then they would try and get out, and then I would put a block in, and then I would get the potion, and I would get the apple, the golden apple in there. Yeah. And then I would feed them, and then they would turn into villagers. And that's how I got the villagers that I've got these days. Which is all good. Each one of my won't even go, bro. Anyway, each one of my train stations, I try and have a what do you call it? A push button starter on them, but that doesn't always happen for all of them. So I just roll with whatever I can do. The next train station has some interesting things on it. Interesting buildings, that is. Yeah, so we're going to roll up to this train station and this train station's buildings. This building is a bit torn apart, and it's supposed to be sort of. It's more or less a vertical forest, if you want to call it that, sort of. There's a couple of dogs over there. Anyway, so what I did was I got a whole chest full of dirt, and then I built basically this giant thing, and then I built that, and so I built that, and I built some things on it, and I just went with that. Really, and that's all I can do for it, I think, anyway. This guy's probably going to catch on fire if he gets near me, and that's okay. But yeah, so I guess I can try and take it a bit away. I'll just kill this guy. You like to dance, eh, bro? Yeah, okay, whatever. Anyway, So yeah, it is quite close to my actual house. Oh shucks. This is like 64 blocks high, I think it is, and 10 wide. I can't remember if it is or not anyway. Yeah, so I just went with that, and I just made some platforms, and they come off the side, and I ran some water down it, and I ran some trees. I grew some trees off the top of it, and a bunch of other funky stuff, and went, yep, that'll do, I guess. And now mobs kind of spawn near it. I guess. Trying to get a good look at it, but it's not really happening. I guess we can just go with what we've got. It'll do. You know, I'm not really worried too much. There's a bunch of bovines down here. How many cows does she take off into the trees? Yeah. So I thought I'd just do a bit of quick spot of hunting while I'm at it, you know, get some meat while I'm here, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah. I should really take off before I get to the next train station. Yeah. Because these mobs, they don't like me here. Oh, actually, I should really go back up in here. And then, yeah. Anyway, so pretty much that's those two areas. So yeah, this is the actual edge of the map. That's not the edge of the map, it's about a block in now, which is cool. This is pretty straight, really, this bit. And then it'll probably cut off to a bit where it goes vertically up the map. It goes straight up the map. Oh no, oh yeah, it did. Okay, cool. That's all good though. I'll just go down here and grab the minecart and go back to where I was. I have actually built some switches, but I'll just get a bit too slow for it. But whatever, you got to roll with what you got. Yeah, so we'll get on to the next train station. The next train station is actually quite a bit of work as far as train stations go, or minecart stations go. There's this one. There's two that end up in the same place. And then there's this one here. So that actually takes you up to an actual station where you can catch another train to two other destinations, which we'll have a look at later on. This one goes off to another water elevator. Hey, there's a broder. I got a dude to greet me. Cool. Did you bust out of the prison? Oh wow, okay. Anyway, let's go up the water elevator. So yeah, this is another place I built. I built that as well. and I built this as well. Anyway, we'll have a look at those in the. I don't actually need those things, Anyway, we will have a look at those in the morning. All right. Cool. So, this is a big giant glass thing that I built. It was supposed to be a little bit more edge sort of looking, but it came out looking as how it is. But whatever. It's got a little rim on the bit here. So there's like a little forest there, so that looks pretty cool there. And then I built this little bit here so you can sort of go up into what is almost like a cloud and capture a bit more. It's a bit sad that Minecraft have that scratch type glass look. It actually makes it kind of ruins things for me personally. So whatever, that is that. Okay, so that's the view from there. And then there's down here. Of course, building this, I mean, it's humongous and all that, and it was difficult to get done, and it took a lot of time, but it was worth it, and it was interesting. And I did die a lot, and I did get to the point where I had to like jump off stuff. But that's how things go, I mean, I built this little pad here just so I could get a bit of extra snow for when I was building that thing over there. But, I mean, you get to the point where this is overhanging the land enough so you can actually jump down into the water. And you just work it out so you can actually do that. So you can actually work and jump down into the water. I think that's a good thing to do. Cool. I might leave some of these stakes here. Yeah. So it's a good little area. I do have some other places. Oh, there's oh yeah. Whatever. Let's go this way. This does actually have also a set of stairs you can go down, which is alright, I think. Kind of helps when you're just walking around, kind of thing, I think. Because, you can't always have a water elevator, or you can't always have, like, rail or whatever. So, yeah, you just use your other shenanigans and try and work with it. Alright, so I'm going to need to go and get a minecart. Oh, it just saved on me. You never know where these guys are coming from. It's good to keep your eyes and ears peeled, I think. Oh, let's just jump in this one. We'll take this one up. Come on, let's go. Come on. We're not here for a bad time. We're here for a good time. All right, cool. So that leads to the other water elevator that I went up before. And this leads to another water elevator. And that leads into another building. It seems like I've seen this quite a lot. There's quite a few breeding llamas, which is fine. It is spring and all. Alright, so there's the other building from there. So I'm sure you can sort of guess where we are somewhat. This is a lower section of that building. Hopefully there's no unsolicited mobs. I don't know what sheep are doing in here, but alright, well I'm kind of pleased at the moment. Alright, so this is the top castle part, I guess you could say it is. Yeah. And this is the view from the other side. So there's the house I was in, there's the big giant thing, I can't remember what you call it, but yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. You can also go up here. There's these two guys as well. So I've sort of tried to keep this as close to just being a snow castle as possible, and then put some snowmen in it, jack-o'-lantern dudes, whatever you call them, in it, and that's about it. It's pretty basic, I guess you could say. I can say obviously it is humongous. It is very large, but it is what it is. You know, can we get down the hole or not? Yeah. You can walk out the front door. It's just really not advised. Because, I mean, obviously you're on the perch, more or less, at the top of the hill, the very top. Alright, so we're back at my place, my main place anyway, and we are not going to the nether right away. Where are we going to go? So we're going to go to... We're going to go to another place, which I built. One of the first things I like to do as a person playing the game. Come on, let's go. Jeez. What's up with these rail systems in this new thing, eh? Pretty much garbage. What I like to do is I like to try and mine a track and lay a track out to the village, and then just make a track going from there. In this case, this track goes all the way around the entire map. Once I've got a map, I'll show you what I'm talking about. We can go through and have a look at the whole map as I drive around it. So this is going up towards the top of the map, somewhat. I don't know what that's all about, but it's all about something anyway. Yeah, as you can see, there's vast crevasses and caverns and all kinds of business that have gone through to cut through this passage. It that is quite long. That's just how it goes. But what I've tried to do is more or less build various destinations near certain parts of the map. This is the top of the map, the top centre line of the map, and the village should be coming up shortly. As you can see, I didn't use a whole lot of gold to make this, but at the same time it was a different time with these maps. Alright, so that's that. Again, water elevator. This one is the village, obviously. There's the original well. And this is pretty much all that was of the village, except for the house and the garden. There was this house here, and that was it. And it was just this. And that's it. It wasn't all this by any means. This was originally one small house, and then I added this section onto it. And that's the inside of that little house. And that's pretty much that. There's a bed here for somebody else. There's my bed there. There's my usual decorations. Oh no, I've taken that. Oh no, there they are. Yep, cool. I've actually taken a lot of the chests out of some of these places, because I don't need to have that so much. There's the water underneath, and there's my man. This is my original villager. He's a yeah, he's I can't remember what you call him, but anyway, he's survived out here quite well. On his own, I think. Anyway, he's done well for himself anyway. He's lasted a fair while, just chilling, hanging around these rocks and hanging around this house and in this forest. And yeah. And yeah, I think he's done pretty well for himself actually. Oh, I do have another sword. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I know. Yeah, so that's been pretty much that with everything I've built as far as like large projects, etc. Do I have any more meat? I do. Okay, cool. I'm not really hungry. I don't tame dogs. My son has told me a lot about taming dogs, and oh, you need to tame a dog, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. I don't want to, and I can't be bothered, and I just leave it at that. Anyway, I think that is pretty much that. I just want to say thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, you can like and subscribe, and I hope that has been interesting and different Not so much about learning, just more about yeah, showing you what's going on with my world, because I like to see what's going on with my world, and I often wonder what the hell this guy is up to and why he's bouncing in the frickin' water. Especially when there's, you know, all these mobs out here and everything else. It just really makes me wonder. And he's got this little house. He's got like his own little place. I'm pretty sure mobs like spawn down here and stuff. He's probably going to get rid of the torches I put up. Anyway, I better get to bed. Not just here in Minecraft world, but actually like my own actual bed. I have come up with ideas and plans to like build way out here, like on top of some of these things. But I think it's a bit extreme and a little bit needless, somewhat. You can really see at night where the edge of the map is, huh? Like it's right there, like that's there. Anyway, that's enough from me. As I said earlier, thanks for watching. It's been awesome. I hope everyone has enjoyed watching this as I have. It's been pretty cool, I guess you could say. Thanks for watching, everybody. Sure. Bye.